So, welcome to this channel. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, like, and share. As you all know that in this channel we teach all science subjects, math, physics, and chemistry. But today we want to take a look at Venn diagram for two subsets. When you hear the word two subsets, what does that mean? That's a situation whereby you have two sets. Now, before we even start answering any questions, what are the rules that guide answering of Venn diagram for two subsets? Assuming this one is our set A, is our set B. This is always the intersection. That is A intersection B. Are you getting me? So if they ask us for number of A, what does that mean? That is for set A. That's number for set B. Are you getting it now? And number of set A, what is the formula for it? If I say set number of A is different from number of A only. When I say number of A, it means that it only must be inside this A, must not enter this place. But if I say number of A, that means here and here, everything inside A is number of A. But when I say number of A only, that means that it must be limited to this place. It must not pass this place. It must not enter this place. If I say number of A only, that means if I want to generate formula for number of A, since I know it is for this and for this, what will I do? And I know that another thing we want to know is that before I create a formula for this and I talk about this, when I say number of A only, in fact, this one is just, when I say number of A only, they are talking about this place. It must not enter these intersections. But when I say number of A, before I write a formula for number of A, let me quickly talk about number of A minus B. What is the meaning of number of A minus B? Number of A minus B means that only in A, not in B. It must only be in A, not in B. That is number of A minus B. That means I can as well write this one as A minus B. I don't know whether you are getting this. This can be A minus B. That means only in A, not in B. I guess now this thing can also be B minus A. That means B minus A means only in B, not in A. Are you getting it now? So if I want to write number of A now, that means I'll say number of A minus B plus number of A intersection B. That is for number of A. Are you getting what I'm saying now? That means because number of A means that everything I see inside A. And A minus B means that only A. That means here and here. That's the number of A. So number of A only, number of A only, that one is what? Number of A minus B. Because A only limited to what is in A that is not in B. I don't know whether you are getting it. Now, that is that for number of A. Now, for me also to get number of B now. For me to get number of B, that means that everything inside B. Don't forget, number of B is different from number of B only. Number of B only. Because if they say number of B only, that means it is limited to what is inside B alone. I guess now, but when they say number of B, that means here and here, everything inside B. So that means my number of B is what? Number of B minus A plus number of A intersection B. That is for number of B. Are you getting it now? So these things, that is if these are some rules we have to learn before we proceed. Now, there are still some rules I will tell us before we proceed so that this Venn diagram for two subsets will become very, very easy and fine, and we can flow when we continue. Another thing we have to learn, if they give us the union for this A union B, A union B actually means the additions of, if they give us number of A union B, what does that mean? That means number of A plus number of B. Are you getting this thing now? Minus number of A intersection B. That is for A union B. A union B means that the total for this, for the A and B, the total for the A and B, this one must be removed. Just A and B. That's why I'm saying minus this. Are you getting it now? That is for A union B. That shows that in the questions they can give me this, they can give me this, they now give me union, they now ask me to find this. Are you following me? Please try to follow me. They can give me this, they can give me this, and give me union. They can ask me to get this. Or they can give me this, they can give me this, and give me union, and ask me to find this. That is for A union B. That's another rule. What is another rule we have to follow about this? Another rule we have to follow is that they can give us universal in two subsetting, in two Venn diagram for two subsets. If they give us universal, that means you have to draw the rectangle. If there is a universal, so if there is a universal, you have to draw a rectangle. And these are our symbol for universal. Or so anyone you like, you can use as your symbol for universal. They give us universal will be here. And you write universal. What is the meaning of universal? Universal means that the total of everything. It's not, union only meant for the addition of the two subsets. That is for union. Again, union only meant for the addition of the two subsets. But when they say universal means that both the addition of the two subsets and if there is anyone inside this rectangle. So everything, that is universal. That is universal. Now, let me now explain that. What do I mean by if something is here? That means anything that is outside. In your questions, they can tell you that there are a certain number that failed both the courses. If they use courses, anything they use, they say there are a certain number of students that fail the what is here, and they also fail the particular subject that is here. So where will you put it? You put that one outside the two subsets. So it's going to be inside the rectangle. And addition of everything belongs to universal. But don't forget, the union only is limited to the two subsets. It's limited to two subsets. Are you getting what I'm saying? These are the rules that guide the solving of Venn diagram for two subsets. Now, there are still some rules. If we have something like this, number of A prime intersection B. What does this mean? When we have something like this, number of A prime intersection B, this means that you can only find in B, not in A. That is the meaning. Only found in B, not in A. That is the meaning. Only found in B, not in A. So if we want to create, since we know that it can only found in B, it must not enter A. So what does that mean? That means it is B minus A. So the formula we are going to use is going to be formula for B minus A, which is this, only found in B, not in A. That means whatever that you have here, that will be the answer for this. What if you have also like this, number of A intersection B prime, that means only found in A, not in B. Are you getting this thing? That means only found in A, not in B. That's another thing we have to notice. Now, what if you have it like this? This is another rule. We have it like this. Number of A union B prime. What does that mean? That means it cannot be found here. It cannot be found in the both subset, but it can be found outside, inside this rectangle. It cannot be found in the both subset, but in the universal. That is the mean. It cannot be found in both subsets, but in the universal. But what if we have it like this? Number of A intersection B prime. What does that mean? That means that it cannot be found here alone, but it can be found here, and outside the universal. You add them together. That means it can be number of A minus B, can be this plus, it can be this, it can be found this plus, even universal. The one that is outside A. Are you getting it? So, or you can, instead of using universal, just say plus number of A union B prime, because it cannot be found in both or outside. That is the meaning of this. So these are the rules we have to know before we start solving questions under the Venn diagram for two subsets. Now let's go straight to solving of questions under the Venn diagram for two subsets. Let me write it. Now, let's look at this question now. It says, draw a Venn diagram to show two intersecting sets, A and B. It says two intersecting sets. That means there are two intersecting sets, A and B. Intersecting set A and B, in which number of A is 7. Because number of A is 7. Number of A intersection B, that one is 3. And number of A union B is 16. We now say we should find A minus B, B minus A, and number of B. So if you want to follow the analysis and the steps and the procedures and the formulas I gave us the other time. Now, this alone, I've told us that this space alone, it is A minus B. This is B minus A, and this is A intersection B. What does that mean? I told us that A minus B means that can only be found in A, not in B. So because this place has entered B, so this place alone is A minus B. B minus A means that can only be found in B, not in A. And this is where they intersect, A intersection B. That is first thing. Okay. Now, what is now the formula for this? If they said we should find number of A minus B, it can only be found in A, not in B. That means it is found in A, not in B. That means I have to subtract this one. Are you getting it now? I have to subtract this one from A. That means number of A minus number of A intersection B. I don't know if you are getting this. They say it can only be found in A, not in B. What does that mean? It means that number of A, because number of A, when you remember the other times I told us that when you say number of A, what does that mean? That means it's everything inside A. But here, what we only need is A minus B. What can be found in A but not in B? That means I have to subtract A intersection B from A. So that's why we say A minus B means that number of A minus number of A intersection B. And I believe you get that. And what is the number of A given to us? We are given number of A to be 7. minus, what's A intersection B give it us? They give us 3. That shows that number of A minus B equals to 4. Number of A minus B equals to 4. Again, what do I mean? If I said number of A minus B, it means that only find in A but not in B at all. And what is that? If only it can only be found in A, not in B, this one has entered A. So we have to subtract. That's why we say minus A intersection B. And number of A means everything. So we just remove this one from it. So it's going to remain number of A only. That's why we say this and 7 minus 3, which is our 4. Are you getting it now? So they ask us to find number of B minus A as well. Number of B minus A as well. Don't forget this is 4. Answer here is 4. Number of B minus A. What does that mean? That means it can only be found in B but not in A. And you know that everything here like this is B. Are you getting it now? Everything is B. That means number of B minus number of A intersection B. Are you getting it now? But if you now look at it, if you look at it very well, you will discover that here, although we have A intersection, we have A intersection B, that is 3, but we don't have number of B. We don't have number of B. They don't give us number of B. How are we going to now do that? How are we going to do that? They didn't give us number of B. But if you observe, they give us A union B. They give us A union B. That means the addition of the two sets has been given to us. The addition of the two sets has been given to us. And I've gotten this one to be 4. This one has been given to me as 4. A intersection B is 3. Are you getting that? So for me to get number of B, which is this place, let me just say X. If I want to get this place as number of B, which is X, and I've known the addition of everything to be 16, that's A union B, what will I do? Very simple. I will just say 4 plus 3 plus X, which is number of B. Everything, the addition is 16. According to what they give me, A union B equals 16. Equals to 16. As 4 plus 3, that is 7 plus X equals to 16. I just said X equals to 16 minus 7. So if X equals to 16 minus 7, that is 9. So that means what is here now is 9. That is number of B. Number of B. That means number of B here is 9. I believe we can see it very well. Because I have told us if the two subsets, once they give us the union means the addition of everything inside the two subsets. And I've known my A minus B. I've known my A intersection B to be 3. What does now remain for me here? I can represent it as X. Add the two together plus S equals to the union given to us. And I know the remaining. So that means this side is actually 9. It's 9. Now that I've gotten the number of B to be 9, so what will I do? I can get my B minus A now. And actually they even ask us to find number of B. So that means my answer here will be 9 for number of B. That is a very simple way of getting number of B. So I'll just use my union, that is 16, and add these 2 and the normal calculation. That is 9. So for me now to get the B minus A now, if I want to get B minus A, number of B minus A, I told us what does that mean? That means number of B minus number of A intersection B. That's number of B. Number of B minus A again means that it can only be found in B but not in A. It can only be found in B but not in A. That means this is B, we subtract this one away from it. So it's going to remain this one left. Are you getting now? And don't forget we have gotten the B. B is 9 minus What is number of A intersection B? That is 3. So that means number of B minus A equals to 9 minus 3 is what? 6. So if you want to now draw the normal subset for the two now, it's going to be like this. Normal, the required subset is going to be, this one is 4, this one is 3, and the B minus A is what? 6. So that is as simple as that. We have gotten the number of A. Note our number of A is 7, and our number of B is 9. So as simple as that. So let's take a look at another example. Let's take a look at another example. Now, this is another example under the two subsetting, two Venn diagram for two subsets. They say draw a Venn diagram of two intersecting sets. The first thing is two intersecting sets. Two intersecting sets. P, Q. P and Q. In which they give us number of P minus Q equals to 5. Number of Q minus P equals to 7. And they give us number of P union Q equals to 16. We are now asked to find a number of P intersection Q. Number of P intersection Q. Now, this, like I told us, this is for this place alone is P minus Q. This is Q minus P, and this is P intersection Q. Are you getting now? But if you want to get number of P, now if number of P now, number of P, what does that mean? The number of P means everything here. You add it together. That means number of P is number of P minus Q plus number of what? P intersection Q. You have to know that the number of P means that everything here. That means P minus Q and plus what? P intersection Q. As meaning of number of P, like I told us, is different from P minus Q. P minus Q means P only. That means can only be found in P. Are you getting it now? So let me even state the formulas one after the other so that you can understand. If it is number of P minus Q, if it's number of P minus Q, this one means P only, not in Q. Can be found in P or not in Q. How do you state that one? So if it can be found in P but not in Q, that means if everything here is P, that means number of P minus everything here is P. Because the number of P, I will now subtract this one minus what? Number of P intersection Q. Are you getting it now? So the same thing. That means if I want to get our number of Q minus P, it's still the same thing. Number of Q minus P. What does that mean? The meaning is that I want to get what is in Q only. And if everything here is Q, that means I'll just say number of what? Q minus, I will remove this one that has entered Q, minus number of P intersection Q. I hope we are getting this. Because again, number of P means everything inside P here. And what are the things inside P? P minus Q plus P intersection Q. So the same thing, number of Q makes that everything inside Q. So that means Q minus P plus what? P intersection Q. Are you getting them? But when they say P minus Q, that means what is in the P that is not in Q. That means if I want to find P minus Q, I will say if everything here is P, I will now subtract this one that has entered it. And it's P minus Q. The same thing happens for Q minus P. So everything is Q minus what has entered Q. So that is for number of Q minus P. Now what they ask us to find? They ask us to find P intersection Q. P intersection Q. And what do we have? they are giving us, they've already given us q minus p. They said q minus p is 7. Q minus p is 7. And we are given p minus q also, which is 5. They've given us p minus q, 5. They've given us q minus p, 7. So they now say we should find p intersection q. I've told us everything here, the addition of everything here is union. The addition of everything here what is union. And they have given me union. They said the union is 16. According to what he said. If union is 16, how like I can just represent this one as x. I'll just say 5 plus x plus 7 equals to everything they've given me union, which is 16. So the 5 plus 7 now is 12 plus x equals to 16. So that means x equals to, you just bring the 12, collect like times 16 minus 12. And x 16 minus 12 is what? 4. That means the intersection here is 4. The intersection here is 4. That means the A said number of p intersection q. Our answer for that one is 4. Are you guys now? So they asked me to find b plus b. They said we should find number of p. I've told us when they say number of p, that means everything inside p. Everything inside p. And what are the everything inside p? It is number of p minus q plus number of p intersection q. That is everything inside p. And what is p minus q? That is 5. And what is intersection q? That is what we get. We get 4. Don't forget, we got 4. That is 4. Are you guys now? So that is 9. Are you guys now? That means number of p is 9. They asked us to find number of q. Number of q. Number of q. So for the number of q, that means everything inside q. Everything inside q. Which is what? Number of q minus p plus number of p intersection q. P intersection q. What does that mean? Q minus p is 7 plus p intersection q. Altogether, that's 4. That is 7 plus 4, that is 11. That is 11. As simple as that, that is 11. So you require intersecting sets now. Since you have gotten it, they require intersecting sets. If you want to draw it, so give us something like this. You require intersecting sets. What is our p minus q is what? 5. Our intersection is 4. Our intersection is 4. And q minus p is what? 7. Q minus p is 7. So that is our required intersecting set. Thank you so much. But let me tell us something. Don't be discouraged of learning mathematics. It might be looks somehow in the first place, but by continuing doing many examples, many works, it will become simpler. Don't lose focus. Don't step back. We are still going to give many examples under this so that it will become so real and so simple to us. Thank you so much.